What up, campers? This is a super exciting one. I'm personally very excited for this because today we're putting on the JT Strong Arm stabilizers on the Rockwood 2706 WS. Let's get it. Okay, so we're big fans of the JT Strong Arms. We had them on our Jayco X23B and absolutely loved them. Does a great job of getting rid of all that rocking and shaking that happens inside the trailer. You can check out our install video and our review, but we were actually bummed when we got the Rockwood because it has electric stabilizers, and so we didn't think that we could actually use these JT Strong Arms. Thankfully, somebody in the Rockwood RV Club over there on Facebook told us that you can get these extender pads that actually make it so that you can connect the Strong Arms even if you have the electric stabilizer. So we're super pumped to find that, and we went right out and bought the Strong Arms again, and today we're going to be putting them on. So real quick before we get started, let's go ahead and unbox the Strong Arms, and then we'll talk about what tools we need to get this done. So this is what you get out of the box. You get the 6 individual stabilizers, bag of mounting hardware. These are the brackets that bolt onto the frame. Those are the actual hardware that connect the stabilizer to the leg. These guys right there. And then these are the little foot pad extender brackets that we bought from E-Trailer to get them to work with the electric stabilizer. All right, let's talk about the tools you're going to need real quick because there is quite a few things. One of which they don't tell you about until way later in the instructions, so I'll save you a headache now. A cordless drill, a hammer, 4-inch C-clamp, a set of vice grips, a center punch, tape measure, a 1/8, 5/16, and 3/8 drill bit, 9/16, 5/8, and 11/16 box end wrench, a 3/8 number 16 tap, that's the one they don't tell you about, a ratchet with a 9/16 deep well socket, pair of safety glasses, and a Sharpie to mark your holes. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is pull off this front little jack pad so that we can put the extenders on. So first thing you want to do is manually grab all these cobwebs and then remove this little sweep bolt. And then basically gonna be just like that. I'm worried about this because so you can see here with this extender pad, it brings this little shoulder bolt down low enough so that the JT Strong Arm will clear this yellow pivot. But this one, I'm worried is too high, and my Strong Arm is going to be butting up against that. So I might give Lippert a call real quick and see what they say. All right, well, while we figure out what we want to do with the fronts, we'll go ahead and get the backs done. The backs are very straightforward because there's only one shoulder bolt that needs to go through. And once we have the adapter plate installed, then we can go ahead and start slapping on our Strong Arm. So we'll put the inner tube connected to the foot pad. And then when you're figuring out where to mount it to the frame, they say make sure you leave 1 inch of the Strong Arm exposed. So like that much. You can see that there. Then we'll go ahead and tighten this T so that it stays extended by 1 inch. and then we'll go ahead and retract the jack all the way. So now we're gonna mark this where we want it to connect to the frame. Then we'll go ahead and punch it, drill it out to 1/8, then 5/16, and then we'll use that 3/8 tap to put those stiffeners up onto the frame here. And then we'll be done with this one on the back, and we'll do the exact same on the other side. Got one of our mounting brackets ready to go. We're gonna fit this onto the strong arm and then mark out where we need to tap these holes into. And you wanna, again, make sure you're doing this with only 1 inch extended. That way, if you ever have to extend your jacks all the way, you know you have enough play in here. That was one of the mistakes I made on the last install, was that I had these guys pushed out a long way, so I actually drilled them in, and then I had to end up moving them closer to give myself enough play to be able to extend all the way. So, pro tip there. But that looks good, so we'll go ahead and mark these holes. Definitely want to wear some safety glasses. Now that we've got our holes all tapped, we can just go ahead and secure this bracket, tighten it down all the way, and then hook up that strong arm. Okay, get those screwed on nice and tight, and then we can go ahead and hook up our strong arm, and then we'll tighten down these little nubs sticking down better. And that one is done. Okay, so this is the back one all done. Just a quick recap. We put on that stabilizer jack foot pad adapter to extend our foot pad down lower. We ran that shoulder bolt through the lower hole there and reconnected the top bolt as it originally was. Then we connected the inner tube of the JT strong arm to the bottom of the foot pad, and then we ran up the outer bar and measured where we wanted it to go. We drilled it out 1/8, 5/16, then tapped to 3/8, connected that adapter with those self-tapping screws, and then connected the strong arm on there finally, and then went through and tightened everything down. So back are very easy, and that one's already done. Here's what it looks like when it runs up and down real quick. Well, something like that, and then you go ahead and tighten her down, and that keeps it really rock solid. So you can see it still kind of interferes here. You can't quite go all the way up, but you can go up way farther than you could if you didn't have these little adapter pads. All right, let's go do the other side. So now same thing, inner tube, outer tube, mark, punch, drill, and tap. All right, the back is done. Okay, so I think for the front, what I'm gonna try and do is actually drill out a 3/8 hole on either side of the existing hole, so then I can run them both through the bottom of the foot pad side by side, so that way they can both clear and retract all the way. We'll give it a shot and see how it feels, and if it still feels strong enough, then we'll go ahead and bolt it up. So that doesn't look too bad. I think it's still plenty strong enough. Not that I'd be able to do anything with that by hand anyway, but 1/4 inch thick. So I think that should work. The shoulder bolts both fit through. I think I'm gonna go ahead and drill out the remaining 3. And then we'll drill out the jack pad and then we'll resume. Alright, so here's what I ended up doing for the fronts. I drilled out side-by-side holes in each one of the brackets. You can see they're not evenly spaced. That's where a drill press would have came in handy. Or even better yet, if they came machined this way from the factory. Then I drilled corresponding holes in the front pad so that I could run them both side by side. So that's how it'll be attached to the trailer, with one that I'll use going across the front of the frame and one going back towards the old side of the trailer. Now we'll go attach this to the front stabilizer arm, and then we'll be ready to drill and tap out the holes for the strong arms themselves. Basically the same concept on the remaining stabilizers. Hook on the small bar. Okay, and unlike the front or the back, this one we're just using one of these stiffening pads. So it'll go on basically like this, right onto the frame. And so we just need to mark where on the frame we want this stiffener. And again, with a 1 inch gap on the stabilizer, somewhere right around there. Doing a quick punch. So that's the side one done. It's on there pretty strong. Feeling pretty good. All right, so we learned some very valuable lessons after I drilled out the bottom foot pad and drilled out those brackets so that I could get both strong arms on there. I actually called Lippert. That's my ready, fire, aim approach to getting these DIY projects done. But basically they said with these electric stabilizers, you're only supposed to put one strong arm on there. The problem basically comes in with these yellow bars. There's just no good way to attach them to the frames, and that's why they don't pre-drill those out with 2 holes. They basically told me to pick one, pick which side to connect, either going backwards toward the back of the trailer or across the front of the tongue, either or, not both. So of course I already had pre-drilled out the foot pad and did all that stuff before I called, so I'm gonna go ahead and try and get both on. But if it was me, what I would recommend doing is putting the one strong arm going back towards the back of the trailer, because the ones in the rear of the trailer on those rear stabilizers, those ones do go across the side. So my sense is that you'd have those kind of ones in the back going side to side and kind of preventing that rock like that. And then you'd have the ones up front going long ways along that I-beam to prevent the kind of front to back. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is go right up behind my weight distribution bars, something like this. That enables me to still twist these knobs if I need to tighten up for the way home, but I don't think that's gonna interfere with my actual weight distribution bars. These bars will always stay parallel to the frame here, so it should never have an issue bumping into the strong arms. I don't know, I'm already going down the rabbit hole, so we'll see what happens. Alright, so this is what we got figured out for the front. One going towards the back of the trailer and then one up under the tongue behind my weight distribution bars. And that's them extended. So They're definitely into the frame solid. And they definitely retract all the way. So I guess I'm hoping that's gonna work. As you can see, I have my trailer super tied up against the bank. Not much room to work, but I'm gonna try and be lazy and get the rest of the front done on that side without moving the trailer. So I'll put it on time lapse from here on out while I finish up the driver's side. Here's the finished product on the front, and these are the backs. Came out pretty good overall, really happy. I don't know if you can hear, but even with the hitch basically jackknife, they still don't interfere with the strong arms. But you can see I'm at quite the angle here. We're headed home, but I just wanted to get a shot to show you that they're not actually interfering at all. So my trick worked. All right, that's a wrap for the JT Strong Arm install with electric stabilizer jacks. Still learned a lot, even though this is my second time doing this job. I think you can go one of two ways. One is the hard way, which I did, which is to drill out both of those adapter pads and the jack pad itself so that you can put 2 shoulder bolts through. Or you can just go the way they recommend, which is just to have the one going from the front straight down the side of the trailer and the ones in the back going across. That's probably going to be the easiest, and if you do it that way, it's probably only an hour or 2 job to get those things marked, drilled, tapped, and attached. Yeah, we're huge fans of the JT Strong Arms. They make a humongous difference. Together with our X-Chocks, I think we're gonna be pretty rock solid. I have the links down below to all this stuff, so if you wanna check it out on Amazon, same price for you, but it really supports the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to give us a thumbs up and to consider subscribing. If you do subscribe, click that little bell. It makes a huge difference. And yeah, we'll go ahead and leave it there. See you on the next adventure.